Hi, how are you? So right now we're like in between art projects. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do an in-between project, and it's gonna be designing flowers. Okay, so we're gonna use our paper, and I don't know about you, even though one of the things that I miss about once the summer is over, definitely not always the heat, but one of the things that I really miss are flowers. Flowers are something that kind of just brings out the space that we have. It makes it look more beautiful. So it's a way of beautifying things. And it also is part of nature. So I would like for us to draw flowers. So flowers don't have to necessarily be limited to something that is just for the summer or spring. We can draw flowers and then we can hang them up in our home. So if this were our piece of art, we can first start some vines and we can kind of curl them up like this. And then we can extend a small little line right here, and then we can draw something that is a flower, sort of looks like a tulip, but we want to add more petals because more petals to me actually just seems to be more beautiful. Over here, I'm going to draw a leaf. And over here, I'm going to extend and make another vine. Oopsies. And then over here, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do the same flower because I want it to look different. I'm going to start off with a circle up here because the assumption is that there will be like a stem connecting it. So I'm going to do a circle here. I'm then going to do the traditional kind of flower that goes like those four kind of half, almost half circle petals. And then I'm going to make it more elaborate and just add more petals. That right there already looks better than what it initially did, but I want it to look even more fancy. So I'm going to just go ahead and add more and more and more petals because I just think that will look really pretty. And it just looks so much nicer with all those pretty petals. Do you see that? And now I can even add even more to make it more fancy. Okay, and then we're extending it. And then I'm going to put a little leaf over here and a leaf over here. I can now make that vine go down and right there. And then I can just go ahead and draw another flower over here. And go like this. So that right there is already looking very nice. Now, when I'm going to do is also, I'm going to draw over here. And the reason I'm going to draw over here is because over here, although I can show you how to do it in a bigger space, you don't get all those really nice details in terms of colors, right? We want to make sure that we also focus on colors. So I'm going to start again over here. So I'm going to bring that into a vine. If you can see it, that is then going to go over here. Let me just see if you are seeing this. Right there. Okay, and then I am going to extend this and make this into these beautiful petals. And just raise it up and see if you can see. Yeah, you can see these beautiful petals and continue like this. Continue like this and just kind of make it look really nice. Now, I might have shown you, but I'm not sure. But if you have some petals of a flower or so, right? It's kind of nice. What I like to do is I like to combine colors because I find like when I'm using more than one color, it kind of makes the flower stand out even more. So let me lean forward. I'm going to outline my stem with a darker green over here, okay? And I'm going to color half of my flower, the petal, to a nice orange. And then I'm going to make the tips into a nice pink because that will create sort of, when we look at flowers, they're not always the same color. Flowers can be more than one color. And this is exactly what I'm doing here. I'm making a flower and I'm going to make sure that it has two colors. I can even add a touch of pink over there if I wanted to the bottom. And then I'm going to continue coloring over here on the top, right? For that vine, even though I outlined it with a darker marker, I can color it a lighter color, which is perfectly fine, or even a darker green. But for the most part, they're not pine green, the actual vines, right? They're not. And so I'm gonna go over here and I'm going to bring another flower here and I am going to start drawing it with red because I kind of want you to see what I'm doing and it's not that visible with the pen or the pencil. So I'm going to do a circle again, just like what I did the other one, and I'm doing small little petals. This flower is going to be outlined in red, but I can easily color it a different color. So if you're going to just do it off the bat with an actual crayon as opposed to a pencil, then you can actually opt to choose that you're going to color it a different color than what you're outlining, or you can outline it with a complementary color. So for instance, if I'm doing orange on this flower, then red it kind of matches orange, right? If I wanted it to be blue, I can outline it with purple. You can choose the color based on what you're planning to color it inside. If I wanted to do this, let's say yellow, orange would be a good outline, or yellow itself. But again, if I were to do that right now with yellow, you would not see all of that, so which is why I am doing it with red. It's always best to work with a pencil because you can, if you make a mistake, you can erase it. And also you won't have to worry about color. Okay, so I'm extending that. I'm going to actually put a little leaf over here, a leaf over here, and another leaf over here. I'm doing that by doing sort of like sort of what I would do with eye, sad, sad, smile, smile, and then a line across. With the color of this, I think I'm gonna go with a nice orange. Even though I have orange here, that's fine. It makes a nice complementary color by outlining it in red. It's still that orange is complementing the red, and it's not too far from what red is. And then you can see all those designs and it's not black. And that way it'll look more delicate. If I were to have outlined this with black or that darker color, it's not gonna look that delicate. And flowers, although they sometimes can be short, for the most part, they're pretty delicate. And we wanna create the same sensation when we are coloring it in. Inside, I'm going to just use yellow. I'm gonna go ahead and color the vine a nice green. Now you could do one or two things. You could either do different flowers like I'm doing, or you can opt to make different flowers for the whole thing. Technically speaking, they wouldn't grow in the same vine, but it's kind of nice to have that. I'm gonna go ahead and do this same flower over here. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I kind of wanna mix it up. Put this flower, maybe another one over here, and then put that same flower over there. So I'm gonna do this one with the blue. And so I'm doing a circle, and then again, the small little petals that then become more elaborate because I'm adding more and more and more. I'm outlining this with a darker blue, and I'm continuing to make all those petals continuing, and I'm going to color it actually with a lighter blue, and it'll look really pretty because it's outlined with sort of the same color family, which are the blues, and it will create a nice contrast. Again, if I were to do it with black, it would not look as delicate, and we want this flower to look very delicate. So I'm continuing to make more and more petals. It's not hard. It's just like almost like you're just doing little mini U's. Okay, I am going to go ahead and color it. staying, making sure that I stay inside. And coloring this part yellow. Okay, so you can see right there that it already looks really nice. You see that close up? Looks pretty cool. And so then we have pretty flowers. Anyway, that's it for today. Have an awesome one. Bye.